mind games. In the state of Florida, if you are a convicted felon, especially a black convicted felon, you are denied the right to vote. And if you attempt to vote, the racist, bigoted governor in Florida, Ron DeSantis, who's flanked by his steroid-injected security guards, will send his goon squad out to arrest any black person that is a felon, because in the state of Florida, he has made it illegal for any black convicted felon to vote. However, when it comes to Donald Trump, who was convicted in New York City not too long ago, who resides in Florida, the governor has said, despite the felony convictions, that Trump can still vote in Florida. He can still keep his voting rights. I keep telling you all that there is a two-tier justice system in America, one for white folk and one for black people, one for rich, white, privileged people, and one for, quote, poor black people, close quote, as well. I found a video that I'm going to play, and I want you to watch it, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary. And this is one of the main reasons why this propaganda campaign, Blacks for Trump, is nothing but a facade. It's fake. And they even have AI-generated pictures running around as reels showing mobs of black people supporting candidate Trump. You all can think this is a game, and you can think it's a joke if you want to. These racist Republicans are stripping every conceivable right away from us that they possibly can. People have forgotten about the 1964 Voting Rights Act that was signed into law. They gave black people the right to vote without fear, without intimidation. Let me remind you about the civil rights movement, the brave men and women who put their lives on the line so that people today can take it for granted. Let's talk about Emmett Till, who was viciously and savagely murdered by Klan people down in Money, Mississippi, because a white woman lied and said that he whistled at her and tried to rape her. And that so-called trial that they had to convict Mr. Bryant, and he was not convicted, his wife testified under oath, the all-white jury found him not guilty. Yet when O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder, and Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson, God rest their souls, they should have never been murdered. That's not what I'm advocating. But the jury that found O.J. Simpson not guilty, let me tell you why they did it. They didn't do it because O.J. was black. They did it for one reason and one reason only. Because for centuries, black people have gotten the shaft in this judicial system. O.J. was a millionaire at that time. $30 million it cost him not to be convicted. So I want to show you this video about Ron DeSantis, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it. So this video is courtesy of Indisputable with Dr. Ritchie. So, and it reads, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he will let Donald Trump vote in Florida after being convicted in the hush money trial. So Dr. Rashad Ritchie of Indisputable, they talked about this. So I'm going to play it, then I'm going to be back with some commentary. This is political mind games. They're playing with people's lives. And the only reason why DeSantis is cozying up to Trump is because he wants to be Trump's vice president. And he insulted him all throughout the entire campaign. Here we go. Check it out for yourself. Let me turn it upside down this way.
Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, well, guess what? If you try to register to vote as a convicted felon, you go to jail. If you attempt to vote as a convicted felon, you go to jail. He has this roundup posse organized by the state to literally raid homes. We've shown it right here on Indisputable. And they conveniently have a camera on standby to make sure these things are recorded. But he figured out a way to make sure Donald Trump, who resides in Florida as his legal place of residence, well, guess what? Trump can still vote. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Put up the picture full mass, I will explain. Per the AP, following the Donald Trump's felony conviction of falsifying business records in the hush money trial, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said Trump has not lost his voting rights in the state. Florida is a state notorious for restricting the voting rights of people with felony convictions. In Trump's case, New York law only removes the right to vote for people convicted of felonies when they are incarcerated. This is a New York standard, okay? Once they are out of prison, their rights are automatically restored, even if they are on parole. That is per a 2021 law passed by the state's Democratic legislature, and a form of that law was attempted in the state of Florida and opposed by who? Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis opposed such, let's just say, left-leaning measures. However, both Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis are now glorified in this left-leaning policy that provides an avenue with the right argument and contextualization that Donald Trump can still vote in the Florida election, which, by the way, eliminates the legal challenge that Trump cannot be on the ballot in Florida, because the legal challenge statutorily says if you are a convicted felon and unable to vote in the state of Florida, guess what? You do not have ballot access. So while the headline is speaking to Trump's access to voting in Florida, the legal ramification is that DeSantis has a stronger case to eliminate a legal challenge that Trump does not have the right of ballot access under felony conviction. Let's put it up. Governor DeSantis stated on X that Trump retains his voting rights in Florida as rights are not removed in the state unless stripped in the convicting jurisdiction. He added that the New York prosecution of Trump is absurd and would easily qualify for restoration of rights by the Florida Clemency Board. So in other words, he had another way to do it if he wanted to. DeSantis emphasized that Trump's vote in November will be one of many showing Florida's solid Republican stance. You still saying the word Republican, sir? That'll get you in trouble in the circles you run in. Republican? Donald Trump Jr. told you there is no Republican Party anymore. It's only MAGA now. Sir, you need to get with the program here. There's more. So as previously reported, Trump became the first former president to be convicted of felony crimes, as a New York jury found him guilty.
All right, now that part I'm not going to rehash. We already know about the conviction. Now let me just say this. I'm checking out the comments as they're coming up. As I told you before, everybody's comments are welcomed here on this channel, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter with me at all. You can't hurt my feelings. Trust me, I'm built tough, baby. That's the way I was raised. And also, I did see one comment. It said, put the phone down. Your face is more entertaining. Thank you. So if you thought that was an insult, you're wrong. Now, let me get back to this. Ron DeSantis is a damn liar. That's what he is. He's a damn liar. He's a hypocrite. He's a racist. He's a bigot. Show me the people that you associate with, and I'll show you who your friends are. There's an old saying that goes like this: birds of a feather flock together. People who think alike congregate together. People who get involved with other people, they all have one thing in common, and that is called unity. Lie, beg, cheat, or steal. They want to win this election any kind of way. And this so-called law that Ron DeSantis is trying to justify is nothing more than a policy of BS. That's what it is. How many black people in Florida are sitting in prison right now because they had a felony conviction? And even after they came out of jail, they decided to go ahead and vote after they did their time. He had them locked up and thrown in prison. Wake up, people. Do your own homework. Do your own research. You can walk around with a plaque, a flag that says Trump forever, blah, 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 yada, 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 Trump 24. That's your right, if that's what you choose to do. But I also have the right to retort. And anything that I see that is double standard, I'm going to talk about it, whether folk like it or not. I really don't care. Because the bottom line is, it's called hypocrisy. That's what it's called. It's called being a hypocrite, being a liar. And that's what DeSantis is. He wants to teach communism in the schools. He wants to teach about the KKK in the school system, but he's made it a law not to be able to talk about the events of the civil rights movement or anything pertaining to black history. Slavery in America was not a myth. It's a stipulated fact. It happened, it did occur. Political mind games. Trying to rewrite history, trying to erase history, trying to pretend like something did not happen. You're psychosomatic. That means you're making crap up. You're a hypochondriac. Some people just love to lie just because they can. And DeSantis, with all his hypocrisy, you know what you can do with it. You can take it and he can figure out the rest. Political mind games. I'm Tyrone Bowman.